I'm Michael Smith. I'm the publisher and director of BMS Books. BMS Books is a boutique publishing company. We do specialise in launches from the regions and those with challenging and interesting themes. And we've been doing this work since 1993, so we've been around for a while. Our motto is breathe new life into your writing, and that's what we try to do with our writers. They bring their work to us, and we help them turn it into life that people can read. I would first of all like to thank Sandy Green, the librarian, and her team here. And Sandy's been a fantastic supporter of Michelle and directly, I guess, of myself for the 3 books that we've launched here. And you really should cherish your librarians and your library. They are going through interesting times, and as we know, interesting times are a double-edged sword, but they are a resource, and please do support them in whatever you do. So treasure and nurture your library and its librarians. From a publishing viewpoint, it's been a pleasure to work with Michelle O'Connell on this book and her previous 2 books. Tinui, the last post, like Leaving for the Front and The Crossing, is an artistic and thoughtful rendering of Anzac Day at Tinui. As such, it is more than just a recounting of the events. It's through her illustrations and writing, Michelle reaches right into the heart of the story, of the loss and the sacrifice that makes Anzac Day a special day in our heritage. We have a number of speakers here today. Mayor Lyn Patterson will formally launch the book, and that will be followed by RSA President Bob Hill. Then we will hear from Rhys Morgan. Now, Rhys is the father of Linda Morgan, who features as the person who actually inspired this book. And so we're very pleased to have Rhys here today. Now, Michelle will then talk to us more about the process and the art of the making of Tinui, the last post. First, however, we have a short clip that does actually show Linda and her rendering of the last post at Tinui. Watching that, it's pretty, must admit I had a little tear in my eye here. And you can understand how that's Linda's work inspired Michelle. She went out there with her dad just to go to the event, and she came away inspired to do this beautiful book that we're here to launch today. In fact, I'd like to invite Mayor
Thank you, Michael. It's again an absolute pleasure to be here. This is the third time, and I just really want to acknowledge Michelle and the work that she has done. Just want to also acknowledge Bob Hill as our President of RSA and Vice President of National RSA, and his wife Catherine, Michelle's parents, and really Michelle's husband Matt. Where are you, Matt? I saw you a second ago. But in particular Michelle's children, Christopher and Michael, because I think they have been the inspiration, I think, for the first, that led to the writing of Michelle's writing of the first book, and that was Leaving for the Front in 2014, and then followed by the Crossing the following year. So it is about telling our history. So our children remember, and they remember what their, whether it be great-great-great-grandfathers or what, you know, whoever, that there is a family connection, and it's not about, it's about the commemoration and understanding the sacrifices of their family members that have gone before them. So well done again, Michelle, and I'll leave it over to others to talk a bit more about the history for the Tinui. I was out there at the Tinui service. It was an extremely moving service, and I think we're always moved when we hear the last post. So congratulations again, Michelle, and thank you, Michael and BMS Books, for publishing the third of Michelle's books. And it's great to be here today to officially launch it. Thank you.
Now I'd like to invite Bob along on behalf of the RSA.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'd just like to start off by setting the scene a little bit. It was well over 100 years ago that the men from our district left our shores to go on their great adventure to fight for what they thought was king and country. But at the end, they paid a terrible price, and lives lost and lives shattered. So that's where this came. And I was out there for the centenary of the Anzac service last year. So it was 100 years ago, 101 years ago, that at the Church of the Good Shepherd, where they had the first Anzac service. And then they went from there. They went to the Maunsel's house, which was at the Tinui station, and had breakfast for about 40 of them. And from there, they climbed the hill to turn around and place the cross there. That cross still stands there, although it's not the same cross. They've got a more permanent one there, but that cross is still there, and people still go up there right through the year now. There's a permanent track being put up there, and people go up there every year to turn around and see it. So to me, while this is about the last post and it celebrates the centenary of that first Anzac Day service, it's also about a community that came together to turn around and make all this happen. So I think there was a big advantage somehow in living in a rural environment, because people help people in rural environments, and I think Masterton's rural too, as well as Tinui. So Michelle, congratulations. It's a fantastic book, and I'm sure it will inspire a lot of young people throughout. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bob, and thanks for all the work that you do for the members as well. It's really appreciated. Now I'd like to welcome Rhys Morgan. Rhys is the father of Linda, you saw with the bugle. And I must say I'm a bit of an admirer of Rhys, because he's handled with utmost aplomb the fact that his daughter is actually going to feature in a book. When we first approached him and his family to say, look, you know, we've got this book and we'd love to have you involved. So thank you very much, Rhys.
Flying Officer Bernard Morgan didn't come back. He was one of the last casualties of the Pacific War. He was also my uncle. He grew up near Tinui, which is why he is on the cenotaph there. When Bev McIsaac mentioned that Te Runga Scouts they had a bugle but no player for the upcoming anniversary, the centenary of Tinui, I thought, well, I've got got 2 children who play in the brass band. Maybe I can help. She raced off and got a bugle. I took it home and tried it out on Ewan, my eldest. Well, he's a tenor horn player, and his big mouth was totally incompatible. Oh dear, I thought, we're running out of options. Linda, would you come here for a moment, please? Well, Linda's a cornet player and a perfect match for a bugle. So, following that, we had practice and cleaning. Practice, cleaning, practice. You guessed it. In the midst of this, John Benham offered to help tutor Linda in preparation for the service. He'd be here with us today, but he's in the UK at the moment, probably sitting in a pub having a pint somewhere beside the Tyne. Cheers, John. More practice, more cleaning. The first public performance was at dusk at Easter beside Lake Wanaka. It was spectacular. More practice, more cleaning. And the next public performance was at the Masterton Farmers Market. A friend of mine, retired senior Air Force officer, was there, said it was one of the best renditions he'd ever heard. Then we were out for a recce at Tinui. There was a chance to play on top of the LAV in the car park behind the pub. That was good. And then it was Anzac Day. We're out there early, waiting behind the LAV until the Lord's Prayer. And then Linda was a bit nervous, it's fair enough, but she got up along with the LAV commander, who was really there just to make sure she didn't break anything on the tank. End of the Lord's Prayer, deep breath, and that's where the book takes over. Well done, Linda. We're all very proud of you and what you did on that day. Thank you.
Got the presentation. I'd like you to take these 3 copies and make sure. And Michelle will sign them. Now I'd like to ask Michelle to come and talk to you about it.
My speech is a little bit longer. Sorry about that, but I've got a lot to say. I'd like to thank our guest speakers, Masterton Mayor Lyn Patterson and RSA President Bob Hill, for their support and interest and for giving their time to be here today and supporting these books. It means a lot to me. Thank you. To Rex, the father of Linda Morgan, for taking the time to get to know me and supporting this idea that lived with me for so long but came as a surprise to the family when I met them late last year. The clips that we see today of Linda playing are from Reese's and Claudia's personal collection. So thank you, thank you Reese, Claudia, Linda and Kerry. And now to the book itself. Well, I've walked up the Anzac walkway before, with my son Michael on my hip, and just recently with Dad, as well as Michael and Christopher, a couple of weeks ago, who managed to get up the top without a piggyback or a carrot. And we made it to the Tinui Cross, a place that I've driven past in my childhood on our family trips to Castle Point, but I haven't seen it before. I don't have a memory of seeing it or knowing the story, even though it's visible from the road. And it came about because of the losses, this cross at Gallipoli. 2,779 New Zealanders died of the 8-month campaign at Gallipoli. 7 were from Tinui. And that's just the dead. There were wounded, the families, lives shattered. The campaign itself was a failure. The landing itself was a disaster, so much so that when New Zealand heard of the deaths during the Gallipoli landing, a half day was held just days later on April 30th to mourn the dead. 1 year later, after Gallipoli had been evacuated, On April 25th, 1916, at 7:30 in the morning, Reverend Basil Ashcroft led what is thought to be the first Anzac Day service in the world in the Anglican Church of the Good Shepherd in Tinui, which still stands today and has its own story to tell. Later that day, as Bob has talked about, a wooden cross was carried up in pieces, including Boy Scouts, and it was erected on the ridge overlooking the town of Tinui. There it stood for decades, until needing replacement in 1965. Masterton man Ronald Montgomery made the cross, and he was there on the day. Sadly, Ron has passed, but his wife Joyce, son Graham, and daughter Nori Montgomery are here today. I learned about their connection during the reenacted crossing over the Rumataka Hills, which I marched with Graham, who I met on the day. Jean Creepney marched as well, and she's here today. As we walked through the night, to the dawn, then on through the morning, as descendants we shared our connections to our past, because from these commemorations we had the opportunity to remember our heritage and share their legacy. On Anzac Day 2016, on the 100th anniversary of the first Anzac Day, it was my first experience as well, one I shared with my dad Colin. The book was simmering in my head. In fact, I had the idea to write it back when I was writing and illustrating Lyn for the front, but it had to wait through the first book and the crossing too, until it became my focus, into which I poured my research, passion for art, writing, compassion and history. I can only write what I feel passionate about, the stories that I need to tell, that I'm inspired to write, and this book was one of those. I found my spot and watched the Anzac service. The students of Tinui and Wairarapa schools read the names of the war dead on the cenotaph. When one of the students from Tinui school came back and stood beside me, she wiped the tears from her eyes. It was impossible to stand there and not feel the emotional weight of the day and how it impacted on the young. As I stood facing the honour guard, the last post began to play by Linda. When I hear the last post, I think of Popper. He was a World War II veteran, and it was played at his funeral. And I think of his father, Albert Turley, who served in World War I, and Granddad Jack in World War II. We were lucky, they all came home. Then Dad tapped me on the shoulder, and I thought, God, Dad, what a time to come in. What do you want to talk about at this time, of all times? And then he pointed to Linda Morgan, 12 years old, standing on the top of the LAV, playing her heart out flawlessly, beautifully, as we saw in the first clip. I knew then my book would be her story told through her music. It is an indescribable feeling, a true gut feeling that flares and doesn't fade. It takes over your life, or took over my life for months, and resulted in many hours. And I was lucky because it became a book. After the service, Dan and I walked up to the cross together. We just missed Linda playing beneath the cross, which is the final clip we will see. Beneath the cross we saw the scouts, the old, the young, sitting, reflecting, thinking of their ancestors. The book that I've written is a tribute to Tinui, to the people on the cenotaph, so they become more than just names. They are remembered as people who had lives that were lost, who had families left behind. And it is heartfelt and can only be inspired by the warm nature of the people on the day from Tinui, the location, and my first experience of Anzac Day, and of course Linda Morgan's playing. So if you haven't been to Tinui, go. With Anzac Day on Tuesday, the town accommodates the thousands really well. It's a family-friendly place to go. And it's your only chance to get a ride if you don't want to walk up that hill. It takes a bit of effort, but it's worth it. The book is done, but it wouldn't be a book without my publisher Mike Smith, who not only just publishes my work, but supports me through all aspects. There's just a phone call or an email away, thankfully, and those are used a lot. Once again, the Masterton Library, Sandy Green, and all his staff have given us a family-friendly place to launch and support my books. for Dad, for coming with me and sharing that day and that really important shoulder tap that I needed to have. Lynn and Bob, thank you again. And finally, to Linda, Reese, Claudia, Perry, Ewan, this book is for you. Thank you for understanding my intention.